Hi there. Just recording a few little vignettes here about the questions people have asked me, the most common questions, to see if I can actually help. So first question I always get asked is about the weight, and a lot of people ask me, well, hang on a second, you say you lost all this weight, I bet you put it back on again. And in fairness, I put a few pounds on, probably about 1.5 stone in fact. Now, it's not all round here, to put a little bit on there, but most of it is probably about here and here, which is as a result of the exercise, particularly the running I do. So, you know, you can put the weight back on, especially if you go through the surgery and you do nothing about it. I know people that have been through the surgery and literally went back to the kind of lifestyle they had, and invariably the weight came back on again. So the important thing is, if you get the chance to lose a large amount of weight, try to use that as a springboard to change your life. As I say, you know, I lost 10.5 stone. I'm probably down about 9 stone now, 4 years on. I've got some of it as muscle, a bit of it around there's a paunch here, but there you go. The other thing is, what about skin? Oh my God, there must be tons of skin oozing around the place. Well, look, you know, there's going to be skin. There's going to be some around your stomach, some around your butt, and definitely some under your arms. So there'll be some bingo wings there. Yeah, I never did this for the aesthetics. I never did it to look good. If I really wanted to look good, I would have spent 10 grand on getting this thing done. It's horrible, isn't it? But look, the fact that, you know, bingo wings won't kill you, but having all that extra weight making you diabetic, obesity resulting in cancer, resulting in a stroke would kill you. So for me, it was important not to die as opposed to looking good. But, you know, if you've got the money, the inclination, you can afford a second surgery and go through the pain, then I guess you can do all of that stuff of getting rid of the excess skin and too. In terms of diet, then, yeah, that changed dramatically over 4 years. In the initial part, it was soups and the mushy foods, certain things I couldn't eat, like bread, for example. I think I probably went through about a period of 18 months unable to eat bread because it would literally just stick here. I can eat bread now, and maybe that's resulted in a bit more weight coming on, because funny enough, you tend to lose a lot more weight when you're not eating bread, particularly carbs like bread. You know, spuds you can mash and all that's fine, but bread is a tough one. But I can eat that now. I can pretty much eat everything I used to eat before the surgery, but just not in the same quantities. So, you know, in moderation. I am noticing that I probably snack more now, 4 years on, than I did in years 1 and 2. But then my body craves more because I burn more, I do more, I've become more physical in the last few years as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. In terms of alcohol, then, well, look, you know, I used to have the odd bit of red wine. I don't do that simply. My taste buds just don't like it. They've changed. So I'm not a drinker. I never was a beer drinker anyway, and beer's always a tough one with gastric sleeves. Strange one, the strange fact was that I used to be a nailed-on tea drinker, and after my surgery I started liking coffee for some reason. I love the odd cup of tea, but it's pretty much coffee all the time, which is something I couldn't really stand before the surgery. So something definitely flipped in terms of my taste buds. Fitness, well, look, you know, the surgery and the weight loss is a great platform, particularly if you manage to lose a large amount of weight. And I'm talking, you know, sort of, whether it's 4 stone, 5 stone, 8 stone, or in my case, 10 stone, you can become more active. And I did that sort of after 6 months. I found I was doing a lot more walking to help my digestion. Started off with a 1 or 2K, ended up with 10K walks, which I began to enjoy. I would advise anybody, if you're going to start walking and stuff, and particularly distance-wise, a couple of things. Yeah, strap up your knees if you've lost a lot of weight and you've got weak knees. It's important. I use those neoprene supports. I also have some of those elasticated ankle supports as well. So I wrap those up. It takes me about 15-20 minutes to go through a ritual of getting ready to go for a walk. But then I'm walking 10K or running. So it's important to keep those and strapped up, and also get a decent pair of walking or running shoes. Walking shoes, you know, I bought a pair of 25 quid ones online, and within a first few weeks I was at blisters everywhere. So I bought some decent shoes. These are my running shoes, but I bought some walking shoes as well. They're about £100+. No single blister on that, and I walked miles in those. So important to do things like that, have the right equipment. I've got into cycling as well, so I've got a bike, and again, that's great if you don't want the impact on your knees, because obviously you're not doing high impact with that. But do be aware of the fact that you still may get some, say it's a pain in the butt, so do get some decent cycling shorts, or maybe even a padded saddle. That's going to help you. I've evolved now onto running, and you know, some would say it's probably a fast walk or a jog, but for me, it's a run. And it's enabled me to do some amazing things. I've tied my fitness regime in with charity challenges for the simple reason that it inspires me to get out and do stuff to help me, plus to help other people. So in 2016, I definitely climbed off the couch and climbed up one of the highest mountains in the world, that's Kilimanjaro, raised money for Sue Ryder, the charity. Last year, in 2017, I did my first half marathon. That was for Cancer Research UK. Amazed that I could run 13 miles and finish. It took me 3 hours, but I did it. So delighted with that and inspired by that. For 2018, that's this year, I took on the challenge of a quarter, half and a full marathon. So a trio of challenges. Delighted to report as I sit here today, I've done the quarter marathon in Brighton, that's 6.5 miles. And 2 weeks ago, I actually did, about 10 days ago, I did the Loch Ness Marathon. That's 26.2 miles on one of the toughest marathon courses in terms of sort of elevation. And I finished. Yep, not fast again, 7 hours, 16 minutes. But you know what? If somebody had said to me 4 years ago, running 26 miles, I wouldn't have been able to run 26 feet, 26 yards. It just wasn't on the radar. So, and I even met people that had done the London Marathon that didn't finish Loch Ness. 4,000 people started, 2,800 finished. So a lot of people didn't finish it. So it was a tough one. So I am proud. And whilst this website isn't about me patting myself on the back, it's about trying to help others. I'm hopefully trying to just make the point that if someone like me can do that, and I'm 56 now, 56 years old, having come from, circa 25 and a half, 26 stone down to where I am today and run a marathon. Guys, what's your excuse? What's holding you back? So apart from the walking, the running, a bit of cycling and stuff, the other thing I like in doing all those things is they're not in the gym. I never was a gym person. So again, if you're not a gym person, look at those sort of pursuits, particularly walking. I find sticking on some headphones and walking is a great way of either just music or ebook, or sometimes switching the music off and just being mindful around surroundings. Nicer in the summer, harder in the winter, but it's important to do still. But terrific way of actually de-stressing oneself at the end of a day. You'll tire yourself mentally, the walking will tire you physically, come home, have a shower, and you'll hit the hay and you'll sleep wonderfully. Which brings me on to the next bit. Stress. Losing weight has helped me lose stress. Strange, you might say. And I'll tell you the reasons why. Well, one of them I just alluded to was better sleep. If you are sleeping well, you are going to be far less stressed. I mean, these days I get between 6 to 7 hours of good sleep, and a large portion of that is REM sleep or deep sleep. I never used to get that beforehand. When I was overweight, morbidly obese, of course I didn't get it because I would often suffer from heartburn through reflux, so I'd actually end up having to get up at night and knock down some antacid. I'd have to get up and go to the loo maybe 2 or 3 times as well. I don't do that anymore, really don't. And that is the weight loss is down to that. The fact that I go to sleep, I'm quite tired, happy, and that's it. And I wake up stress-free and refreshed. So I'm not on any pills, not on any meds, which is another big plus, because those are stressing me out. Being on blood pressure meds and all those other meds stresses you. Yeah. In fact, it stressed me so much I used to start eating more, so it became a vicious, cycle there. A lot more energy, that's apparent. And with having that energy, when doing stuff, makes me feel good and makes me feel inspired to do more. So, as I said, this is not about, an admiration society here, but it is about that if you do these things, you will find there's a number of benefits that come about. There's miscellaneous benefits that I hadn't thought about. They occur to me, but they're important. Like just buying clothes that fit and I quite like the look of. Kids bought me a pair of skinny jeans. I actually am addicted to these things. I wear them now because I like them. They're comfortable. Yeah, beforehand, my trousers were, about yay big. They were 6XL. They were a circus tent. How trendy was that? I can buy shirts and stuff off the shelf. All of these things are important because they make you feel normal. I'm not saying people out there, this is not about shaming anyone or whatever. It's more about health. But, all these little things add up and they make you feel good about yourself. And that's what this should be about. Being good on the inside, but also feeling good on the outside. Yeah, and the other thing is, in terms of being a better person, relationships-wise, when you find you're less stressed, you're good about yourself, you're inspired, you're a happy bunny, you're a happy chap. It's made me a better husband, better father, better grandfather. All the things that I you know, maybe wasn't. You know, I was really like a bear with a sore head, come from work. I was tired, I was irritable, stressed out, you know, eat, watch TV, go to bed, that's the same cycle. All of that stuff is gone now. You know, yeah, I can throw a mood like anyone can, but you know what, I don't do that often, and that's important. So better relationship, you know, so there's both mentally and physical relationships are much better as well. And just the idea of feeling fulfilled, that you're achieving stuff, you're doing good. Stuff that maybe I didn't feel for nearly a quarter of a century as I sat there with massive weight on. Now I don't do that. You know, I feel good about myself, good about the things I do, and all of that sort of works. So the point I guess I'm making here is, you know, 4 years down the line, you know, my journey is still ongoing. I'm still enjoying my journey more than maybe I enjoyed. You know, I think I've enjoyed the last 4 years more than I enjoyed the previous 25. In terms of being a happy, easygoing guy. You know, if I've got one regret is I wish I hadn't waited till I was 52 to actually have had this surgery and lost the weight. But it is a life changer, it is a game changer, it is serious, and you need to think about this. It's not a trivial thing to do, and sometimes for some people just having a surgery isn't the be all and end all. You know, you can't just have the surgery and think, that's it, I can carry on with the lifestyle I had. No, you've got to change it, but it is a massive catalyst to help you do that. I hope this has been useful. You know, please do watch some of the other videos on there. Please do feel free to reach out to me. You know, what I do here is not for profit. I am not here to do anything other than try to pass on some help and wisdom. I'm not a doctor, so it's not a medical advice. It's just the advice of somebody who used to be morbidly obese, is no longer like that, and has changed his life. If I can pass you on any wisdom or gems that have helped me, then I'll be happy to do so. Drop me an email. Also, I've been pleased over the last 4 years. I've spoken to a lot of people on the phone. Happy to share that, and in a couple of instances I've gone out and met people. So, shall I call it an intervention? Yes, their families have asked me to get involved by talking to them and so on. And most of them have gone through the surgery, they've done it, and they're pleased they have. A couple of people, after speaking to me, have decided they didn't want the surgery, and that was their decision, because, you know, I tell it the way it is. But the important thing is their decision at the end of the day. So listen, thank you very much for listening to this. Watch out for more stuff on the website. I'm glad I'm recording something after 4 years. Apologies for all those that were thinking this guy's disappeared. I am still here. And hopefully I wish you well with your journey and your health and your life. Thank you.